The Helion Rift was unlike any region in known space. A vast, starless gulf where light bent, sound died, and even the bravest navigators whispered of ships vanishing without a trace. The rift did not glow, it absorbed. It swallowed starlight, swallowed memory, swallowed the sense of direction itself. And yet, through that impossible darkness, a single vessel drifted, the Astraeus. Its hull was obsidian black, its engines pulsing with a faint cerulean heartbeat as it cut through the void like a lone lantern in a drowned world. Inside, Commander Riven Hale stood at the forward observation deck. Tall, lean, and sharp-featured, Riven carried the look of someone carved from sleepless nights and impossible decisions. His hair, dark, slightly unkempt, brushed the collar of his uniform. A thin scar crossed the bridge of his nose, a pale reminder of a battle he never spoke about. His eyes, a deep iron gray, reflected the rift's emptiness as if searching for something he'd lost long ago. He exhaled slowly. The silence pressed in. Then a flicker of light behind him. A soft harmonic resonance. Liora emerged, not through a door, but through a ripple in the air, as though reality itself made room for her. Her form was humanoid but unmistakably alien. Tall, slender, with skin that shimmered like liquid starlight. Her hair flowed in weightless strands of pale gold, drifting as if underwater. Her eyes, luminous, shifting between silver and soft blue, held a depth that felt older than the rift itself. She stepped beside him, her presence warm despite the cold void outside. "You're thinking about her again," she said softly. Riven didn't look away from the darkness. "I'm thinking about the mission. That is not what your pulse suggests." He allowed himself a faint, humorless smile. "You're getting better at reading me." "I am learning," she said, tilting her head. "You are complicated." He finally turned to her. "And you're not." She blinked, a slow, graceful motion. "I am many things. Complicated is one of them." Before he could respond, the ship's sensors chimed. A signal. Weak, distorted, impossible. Riven straightened. "Is that?" "Yes," Liora whispered. "A distress call. From inside the rift." Riven's jaw tightened. No one survived inside the rift. No one. The signal crackled through the speakers. Faint, broken, but unmistakably human. "Anyone? Astraeus? Please, help." Riven froze. He knew that voice. He knew it down to the marrow. Dr. Celine Ward, brilliant astrophysicist, architect of the Rift expedition, the woman Riven once loved and lost to the Rift 3 years ago. Liora watched him carefully. "You recognize her?" Riven swallowed hard. "Yes. Your emotional response is intense." He shot her a look. "She was my partner." Leora's expression softened, a subtle shift of light across her features. "I understand." But Riven wasn't sure she did. He turned back to the viewport. "Set a course. We're going in." Liora hesitated. "The rift is unstable. The Astraeus may not withstand." "We're going." A beat. Then she nodded. "As you wish, Commander." The Astraeus plunged deeper into the rift. Darkness thickened around them, swallowing the faint glow of distant stars. Gravity twisted. Time stretched. The ship groaned under forces no vessel was meant to endure. Riven gripped the railing, jaw clenched. Liora stood beside him, her form flickering as she stabilized the ship's quantum shielding with her own energy. Her hand brushed his lightly, unintentionally. He didn't pull away. Neither did she. For a moment the rift felt less cold. Then, a burst of light. A structure emerged from the darkness. Massive, ancient, suspended in the void like a cathedral built from fractured starlight. Riven's breath caught. "What is that?" Leora's eyes widened, glowing brighter. "A convergence spire." He frowned. "You've seen this before?" "No," she whispered. "But my people dreamed of them." The distress signal pulsed again. From inside the spire, Riven's heart hammered. "Celine is in there." Liora placed a hand on his arm, gentle, grounding. "Then we will find her." He met her gaze. For a moment, the rift disappeared. The Astrius docked with the spire's outer ring. Riven and Leora stepped into a vast chamber lit by shifting geometric patterns, symbols that moved like living equations across the walls. Leora's eyes glowed brighter. This place, it responds to consciousness. Riven scanned the room. Meaning, it listens. He didn't like the sound of that. They moved deeper into the spire, their footsteps echoing softly. Then a voice, weak, trembling. Riven? He froze. Celine. Alive. He ran toward the sound. Leora followed, her expression unreadable. Celine Ward sat slumped against a crystalline pillar, her once dark hair now streaked with silver, her skin pale but alive. Her eyes, bright, brilliant, widened as she saw him. Riven. He dropped to his knees beside her. Celine. I know, she whispered. I thought so too. Leora stood a few steps back, watching them with quiet intensity. Celine's gaze shifted to her. And you are? Leora, she said softly. A companion to the commander. Celine raised an eyebrow. A companion? Riven cleared his throat. She's part of the mission. Leora's expression flickered. Something like disappointment, quickly masked. Celine tried to stand, but winced. Riven caught her. Their faces were close. Too close. Leora looked away. Celine whispered, Riven, the spire isn't what it seems. He frowned. What do you mean? It's alive. The chamber trembled. The walls shifted. Leora's eyes widened. It has awakened. A voice filled the chamber. Not spoken. Felt. 3 minds. 1 path. Choose. Riven staggered. What the hell? Leora steadied him. It's communicating. Celine clutched his arm. Riven. It wants something from us. The walls pulsed. 1 may leave. 2 must remain. Riven's blood ran cold. No. No deals. No sacrifices. Leora stepped forward, her voice steady. Spire. Why must 2 remain? Balance. Memory. Continuity. Celine's eyes filled with fear. It wants hosts. Riven shook his head. No one is staying. The spire pulsed again. Choose. The chamber began collapsing inward. Riven grabbed Celine, pulling her toward the exit. Leora raised her hands, her body glowing as she held back the collapsing walls with sheer force. Go! She shouted. Riven hesitated. I'm not leaving you. You must! She cried, her voice trembling. If you stay, none of us survive. Celine pulled him. Riven, please. He looked at Leora, her form flickering, her eyes bright with something unspoken. Then the spire surged. A shockwave hurled them all into darkness. Riven awoke on the Astrius. Celine beside him. Leora gone. He staggered to his feet. Leora! No answer. Celine placed a hand on his arm. Riven! She stayed behind. He shook his head violently. No. No, she wouldn't. The ship's lights flickered. A soft harmonic resonance filled the air. Leora materialized, but changed. Her form more luminous. Her eyes deeper, filled with galaxies. Riven! She whispered. I am here. He stepped toward her, breath catching. What happened? I merged with the spire, she said. It chose me, and I chose to return. Celine watched them quietly. Leora reached out, her hand brushing Riven's cheek. A touch warm, real, impossibly gentle. I am still me, she said softly. But more. Riven's voice broke. You came back. For you, she whispered. The Astrius drifted out of the rift, back into starlight. Riven stood at the viewport, Leora beside him, Celine resting in the medbay safe. The rift behind them pulsed once, like a heartbeat. Riven exhaled. The darkness no longer felt empty, because in the vast silence of the cosmos, he had found something impossible, connection, and it had changed everything.